Ciao, everyone. This is Esther.
Alfred reporting live from sweltering hot Sicily today.
Welcome to our YouTube watchers, our Facebook viewers. We're so happy to join us, that you can join us here on the stifling hot day. That's one of the big stories happening, Alfred, and also the fires continue to rage across Sicily, and Mount Etna has a new peak, plus so much more. But let's start out today with this heat. Red alert in Sicily, in much of Italy as well. Temperatures reaching 110, 115, even 120. Crazy, crazy heat happening in Sicily.
Well, here it broke 100. It was 101. We have a sea breeze, but it's a Sirocco wind from Africa,
Yeah.
which means it's a very hot wind. That's number one. I feel bad for the people right in the dead center of the island, from Anna. If you draw a circle around Anna, they've had their numbers of 42, 43 degrees Celsius, 107, 110,
And
and
it's
it's a
supposed
real
to be even higher.
tinderbox. I mean, it's a real tinderbox. I've been watching today, going from your right to the left, the helicopters coming in and dipping into the water and taking off towards Arteriale and Jade.
Yeah.
There are fires to my left, fires to my left, fires to my right,
But
all
it's
over the place.
yeah, it's a really serious situation. Also in Petralia, up in the province of Palermo, in the Madonie mountains, the forests are burning down, and I'm so sad when I read this morning that livestock are dying, businesses are being destroyed, and people are fleeing from their homes. This is a devastating time. They've called in for the state of emergency for days now. Nella Musumeci, the president of the region, but still hasn't been declared as of the taping of the show. So and Canada Air has been helping immensely, um, fighting these fires, and also some of the volunteers that came from up north. And, we've talked about this before on the show. Um, the heat is one aspect of it, but also people setting arson is another. It's a disgrace. And, people are also, the Civil Protection Agency are asking everyday people to please keep an eye on the situation. If you see even a small fire happening, to call it in. So,
Well, you know what it is for those who have visited Sicily in the past, Esther, you know that the landscape is dotted with abandoned buildings, old structures, 150, 200 years old, and they're all over the place. So what happens is those are the structures that get set on fire. Now, who sets those structures on fire are typically a land speculator who is interested in buying that property
mhm.
can get can pay less on the expenses if that building is already reduced to rubble, so to speak. Okay, so what they do is they hire somebody for €100 to go there with a can of gasoline, and they put it downwind, they sprinkle it, and then they take off, and that's what they do. And but they get caught now. They're getting caught.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them, but about 10 or 15% of them are getting caught. And this isn't something that just happened this year, Esther. Huh?
Yeah.
This has been going on from time immemorial. The whole idea of clearing the land. Now, it's of course is with the garbage too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
people are setting garbage on fire, and that's igniting wildfires as well. It's a
and
double whammy here.
yeah, but Alfred, the fires in the Madonia, up in Greci, Sicily, and Petralia. I mean, animals are dying. It's very sad. And I think what's happening is people are maybe setting these fires on purpose, and they cannot even imagine, because of the heat and the African wind, that it's spreading literally like wildfire. So I'm hoping that a state of emergency will be declared. The military needs to come in and also help fight these fires. So this is, Alfred, you're right, an ongoing thing. And interestingly, we have Ferragosto coming up on the 15th of this month. It falls on a Sunday. People will be out and about, going barbecuing, going camping traditionally, and having picnics. So hopefully the situation is not exacerbated by that as well.
If I was going on a picnic, I think I would put in my car a fire extinguisher just in case. And I
Yeah,
really wouldn't go to a heavily wooded area. I think I'd take a pass. This this heat system is going to be with us through next week. Through
yeah,
next week. So it's another 7 or 8 or 9 days. But the good thing is, as you get closer to August, what happens is at nighttime the temperature begins to go down a little bit. And at some point in time, we're going to get a couple of drenching rainstorms. What we
yeah,
need more than anything else, Esther, is rainstorms. A couple of rainstorms, just to, I mean, just to put something in the good earth, for heaven's sakes.
for
And now
sure.
they're, the other thing is, with all this water that's being used here and there, two things have happened. The supermarkets have raised the price of water. Okay, a 2 liter bottle of water last week was 30 cents a euro for a bottle. Now
As
all of a
opposed to
sudden it's
22.
right, and now it's 45 cents. So the water
Mhm.
prices are going up. The water pressure in the hinterlands is going down. Water pressure in the house is going down, and you know that's what the problem is. Now some people don't have problems with the water, like my friend Anthony. He's got a farm, up there in
Yeah.
Petropavia. But he's got wells there, so that's good. If you have a well, you're in good shape. But I don't have a well, so I have to
You
get
know,
water from the bottle. I buy the bottle.
the other big thing that has been happening is Mama Etna is making history. Again, here she is blowing her casket, as you would say a little bit. Here's the 50 something explosion that she just blew up. And the interesting thing that happened with this is that since she's been blowing up, and this is the 50 plus explosion or eruption since February 16th of this year, it has caused the peak to shift. So it used to be on the northeast side. The peak now is on the southeast side. It went from 3,326 meters to 3,357 meters. That's around 11,000 feet, Alfred. So that's very interesting. And before I left, I was like, Etna looks a little bit different. So the youngest
Yeah,
and most active,
it does
the
look a lot
youngest
different.
and most active volcano now has a new peak. And a lot of my Etna friends, I belong to a bunch of Etna groups. They were celebrating, of course, San Lorenzo was yesterday. So they had fireworks over Etna, also at Refugee Sapienza, which is the highest part that you can go with a car on Mount Etna. They were having some picnics and things over there. So there you go, folks. Mount Etna making history again.
Well, it's kind of funny that the wildfires have pushed the Etna eruptions off the front pages of the newspaper here, because only the major topic right now is the wildfires. That's the biggest topic. When they start hitting some of the cities like they did in Palermo and Catania last week, is when
Yeah.
people take knowledge and they begin to think about it. On the good side, the only good thing I could possibly think of, Esther, is that because of this hot weather, mosquitoes haven't been able to find any
Yeah.
place to reproduce in moist warm weather. So the mosquito population is almost like zip. I think I got my first bite last week, and that was it.
Look at Mama
Usually,
Etna from Taormina, Alfred. So you got the
yeah. Hey, by
wildfires
the
and
way,
you've got Etna exploding as well.
let me say something about Taormina right now. I've been reading some of the local newspapers over there
Yeah.
the last couple of days. Don't go there this week. They changed the traffic pattern going up to Taormina, Esther, and I
Hmm.
guess it's really a nightmare. There've been lines from Taormina all the way down to the autostrada. People waiting in lines on an incline like this. Okay, 2 hours and a half or something. 2 hours on the incline. If you live in this area, or if you've been there before, there are plenty of other places to go. I would say stay away from that. Isola di Bella, the famous beach over there in
Island.
Taormina.
Island.
I was disgusted to see yesterday several thousand tourists down there, They were literally shoulder to shoulder. Okay, forget about any type of social distancing or any of that stuff. Littering, having a grand old time. And you want to know something? That 90% of those folks, they're out of towners.
Yeah.
They're from the north. They're from other countries. They're partying like hell, but they're not. It's not. I don't consider some of these tourist people to be responsible partiers. It sounds like they're coming to Sicily just to bust loose. It's like I don't know what spring break for them, I guess. But it's irritating as a person who lives here, and to hear the locals. There's only 11,000 people who live in Taormina. That's what the residents are.
Yeah.
Imagine going to work all day out of town and trying to come home, and it takes you 2 hours just to climb the hill.
Well,
That's going
Alfred,
one
I
way.
mean,
It's
on the
terrible.
on the flip side, Alfred, there's also, thank God, the tourists are coming back and injecting some much needed currency into the business of a terrible, terrible economic situation in Sicily. So I know my friends in the tourism business are so thankful that, again, they're seeing the hotels being booked, the restaurants are starting to be booked. Now, Taormina, Alfred, historically, even before COVID, has been, a go-to place, one of the most visited in Sicily. So at certain times of the year, of course, stay away from Taormina, or, there are alternative ways of getting there. We did that one time. We went to the, what's that place we went? We parked the car and then we took the little shuttle up to Taormina. So there's other ways, the
Bonavia.
the
But wait a minute,
Funabia.
Essa. Yeah, here's the point that you're missing, and a lot of folks miss, but I don't miss it because I see everything. A lot of the people who, a lot of the people who are
Oh,
visiting Taormina and going to the beaches, by the way, are lower. Those are all locals who live within, say, 75-mile radius of Taormina. They go to Taormina for the day. They don't go up top. What they do is they park the car for free on the bottom, Taormina Mare.
yeah,
They usually bring a lunch with them, big macaroni or something, and they don't spend any money. So a significant percentage of people who are choking up the roads in Taormina are not the tourists that have cashola in their pockets. They're the locals who know where they can get free parking. And
right,
Isola La Bella doesn't cost any money to get in.
right.
You
You
could
just
just
walk
walk
down
down
the
the stairs
stairs.
over there. Those people ought to stay away. Why don't they go? There's a beautiful shoreline from Taormina to Messina. For heaven's sakes, go up there. Okay? Let the poor little community, which has been on its knees, get a little bit of breathing room. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. And by the
Uh,
way, you didn't ask me about my hat.
Wait a second. I want to say thank you very much to Brenda Gary. Stay safe, guys. Our dad worked in Lawrence courts for 35 years. Wonder if you'd know him. Question June 1 to 30th, 2022. No car. Palermo or Syracuse. Am looking at apartments in each. First of all, Brendan, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate it. Um, Alfred, let's see, Brendan, what is your dad's name? Let me know. And
Is it
then
Charlie Zappola? I know what his
his
first name
name
was
is
because
Brandon Geary.
I knew all the court offices in Lawrence.
Yeah.
I knew all
He's
the court offices in Lawrence because I practiced there. That's where I practiced in Lawrence. I'm a Laurentian, as everybody knows. But thank you very much for your donation, Brandon
Brandon.
Geary.
So let's take his question. June 1 to 30th, 2022. He's not bringing a car, Palermo or Syracuse, mainland. Am looking at apartments in each. Brandon, both of those areas are beautiful, but very different, right? And with no car, let me just say my first tidbit. If you're in the city of Palermo, right, Alfred, you don't necessarily need a car. You can walk from each site. They're all very centrally located and really near the Centrale, the main train station, right in the heart of Palermo. So that's very walkable. Now, if you're talking about Syracuse, the city of Syracuse, you'll probably need a car. That's a little bit more difficult. But, we talk a lot about looking for apartments here, and we've said a few website, right, Alfred? Idealista is one, looking for apartments. You had another one. What was the other one that you like to look at?
Subido IT.
Subido.
Bob Wallace had one on our chat last week. He had one that he went through.
That's
And there's
right.
also Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is very good in the specific town that you're looking for.
Yeah. You know,
Go to
I
Facebook
prefer,
Marketplace, Siracusa.
right. You know, both provinces, Palermo and Siracusa, have wonderful places that they offer, a lot of great cities. Depends what you like, but definitely come here and spend a significant amount of time, Brendan. And it looks like you're spending 30 days. So that is perfect. Get a little bit of a feel for both of those sides. What do you think, Al?
Siracusa is a small city. It's not a huge city. I think its population is 150,000. It's not a big city.
Right.
And it's connected right into Ortigia. You just drive through the, what is it called, Geloni
The
there.
little bridge.
Strada, yeah. And you go over the bridge over there, and then you're right into Ortigia, which is a beautiful touristic type of attraction. There aren't any good beaches per se in that neck of the woods. You have to go out into the Siracusa. What's that name of that one place that
San
everybody goes to?
San Lorenzo, which
San
has the
Lorenzo is one of
beautiful
the best
white
beaches.
sands. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best beaches in Sicily, but that's about a 15 or 20-minute drive outside of Siracusa, but it's beautiful. Also going down to Noto and Avila. I mean, Avila is also beautiful too, which is about 45 minutes away. So anyways, did you ask me about my hat?
Wait a second. Let me just say one more thing to Brandon that, you know, the train system here in Sicily is really, really great. So you can do it without a car. But when you get to a location, the train station may be sort of in the middle of nowhere, not middle of nowhere, but you'll need a car to get to, right? The train station in Siracusa to get to Ortigia, you will need some kind of transportation. But the good thing is, like the train station in Taormina, Giardini Naxos, there's always taxis around, but not every town is big like that. Not every town is a major tourist attraction. So, you know, that's something that you need to prepare for a little bit more. Alfred Zappola, tell me about your hat.
My hat says Chicago Police Department, CPD. I want to give a shout out to all the members who were first responders in that particular city. They had a tragedy. They lost a beautiful 29-year-old mother with a little baby. Her and her partner, the two cops,
Yeah.
they were ambushed while their car was parked. Their guns were still in their holster. And it got me to thinking about the sacrifice that CPD police officers have made in Chicago. This hat is over 20 years old, Esther. It was given to me by attorney Daniel Norris, who lives in New Hampshire right now. But Danny Norris was my very best law student that I had in 20 years of teaching at Northeastern Law School. He was so good that after he graduated, I actually hired him as an associate in my law firm, and he did a hell of a job for me. And then from there, he moved on to a bigger law firm in Manchester, and now he's a senior partner. But his dad used to send me a new cap every year. He was the guy in charge of the evidence locker in CPD in Chicago. And I used to, in fact, go to Chicago. I used to go to the Million Dollar Mile, Michigan Avenue. And I have a lot of friends over there. And my heart is breaking, not only for this woman's family, but for all the members of the Thin Blue Line who have lost their lives in duty. It seems to me that it's not so good in the United States. But let me tell you something. It's not so good even in Italy, Esther.
Yeah.
The Carbonari are getting attacked here left and right. And throughout Europe, I don't know if you've been following what's been going on in France or Germany. I mean, there's violence now towards authority figures. But anyways, I'm wearing this hat in solidarity for this whole show today, for memory of the heroes from the Chicago Police Department.
Nice, Alfred.
I love Chicago.
God bless their souls, and God bless all the police officers all over the place. Catherine, I hope things will calm down in Taormina for October. We are scheduled. Taormina is usually a little bit calmer. Nice to see.
By October, it'll be fine. Right now, for Ferragosto, what is Ferragosto, anyways, Esther?
Wait,
Explain
hold on.
to the people
Frank is here. Ciao, nice to see. He said in Augusta it's 49 degrees. That's about 120.
Frank, is that
Um,
unbelievable?
yeah, no kidding, right? Ferragusta. What is Ferragusta? August 15th. You know, Alfred, Ferragusta was named after Augustus. He put in
Caesar
that
Augustus, yeah,
Augustus Fieri
Roman emperor.
because he wanted to give people who worked on the farmland a little bit of a break. And then years later, the church changed it to the 15th of August to the Assumption of Mary, because they didn't want it to be in the name of Augustus and because it was a political thing. So they changed it into the Assumption of Mary. And then this is a interesting thing. Mussolini really encouraged people to take Ferragosto off. It is a public holiday, but you take the whole week off. And he encouraged people to take train rides all over Italy, and he gave them a little bit of incentives. And so the train, the board, the women board would be paid for, especially for lower income people. He really wanted them to get out and experience Italy. And so to this day, it's very usual to bring picnic baskets, picnic food, because food was not included. So this holiday, Ferragosto, has been going on for a while, but really it starts the week before and it finishes probably, a few days before September. And a lot of shops are closed. A lot of people take off. I remember every single year, the beaches just blow up from people from the north of Italy, and also other European countries. So,
Esther, as you know, Caesar Augustus was the adopted nephew of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar named the month of July after him, or June rather, right? Or July.
say that
Excuse me.
again.
That's after Julius
Wait,
Caesar.
say that again, honey.
Julius Caesar named the month of July
July.
after him,
Yeah.
and his nephew Caesar Augustus named the month of August after him. And September, we're now changing the name to Zapemder after me. Zapemder. Those Italians, they'll do anything to get a day off. I swear to God. I swear to God.
No kidding. There's more festivals in Italy. I love it, though. Mike Costello, nice to see you. Wish I was visiting with Dusty next week, hopefully in the winter, my favorite time of the year.
Me too. Me too, Mike. Me too, Mike.
Frank Cornelio is here. Nice to see him. I spent many Ferragosto.
Wait a minute. I want to congratulate Frank.
Yeah.
Get back. I want to congratulate Frank for one thing.
Go ahead.
Frank Cornelio.
Tell me.
What's going on in New York? What's going on in New York?
What
you
happened?
think I can run for governor? I think I'm going to run for write-in for governor. And the first thing I'm going to do is abolish the position, and I'm going to install myself as king of New York. And then I'm going to do is we'll have the Red Sox move there. Good idea, Frankie. Anyways, I hope everything's okay. And I saw a picture of his cousin, Kelly Mondato. Oh my God, did she blow up, huh?
No kidding.
Moncato. Holy smokers, I had to pay for that view.
Catherine says, I've spent many Ferragosto in Madonie Mountains, the largest barbecue I've ever seen. Unbelievable feast. Hey, Alfred, it's Mike Gary.
Mike Gary. Where did he work? In Lawrence District Court? Ask her one more time.
He said he was in the Lawrence court system.
Superior Court or District Court? Mike Gary.
Yeah. Also, the Feast of Assumption made a doctrine of the church by Pius XII, one of the only church doctrines that were held infallible. So good that Jim Ingram is in the house with all these great...
His knowledge. James's knowledge.
Al, stop with the political bias, Big Al.
Wait a minute. Hold it. First of all, that's not political bias. Number two, I'm just breaking the chops of my pal Frankie. That's all. I don't care if the guy's a Democrat or Republican. In my view, if you're coming on to a bunch of women like that, the way he did in that position, Democrat, Republican.
All right, let's stop, guys. Nope.
That's it.
Stop.
That's not
Stop.
politics, Esther.
Stop.
I'm not talking politics.
Okay, let's talk a little
God.
bit about the latest situation. Um, Unfortunately, Alfred, I was just, I've been following the news about what's going on with the situation. And for the past week, Sicily has been first in the country for COVID cases. Also, the hospitalizations and ICUs are rising. And you know what? Sicily continues to be last in Italy for vaccinations. So it's definitely something, the summer's heat exacerbates the situation because people don't want to go and get vaccinated. They're out on vacation, all that stuff. But that campaign really needs to increase. Now, today they announced that children 12 to 18 will not have to book an appointment. They can starting on the 16th, going and getting vaccinations. And of course, school is starting in Sicily, and it's going to be in-person schooling. So we'll see how it all plays out. Right now, Sicily and Italy remains white, so open for tourists, and we're hoping that won't change.
Could I throw my opinion in here? Non-politically? Okay.
Well,
Number one, there's 1.5 million tourists in Sicily right now. Okay,
Yeah.
from all over the EU, the United States, you name it, they're here. Okay, so obviously, when you nearly double the population or have 50% expand the population, there's going to be more people unwittingly coming in here with the COVID. Okay, here's the dispositive thing, and I think that people have to begin to have a mindset about this. First of all, we have two categories of people. You either have people who are vaccinated, and then you have people who are unvaccinated. I wish when they report the news, they say, we have 800 people who have positive today. Out of the 800, 100 have vaccinated, and 700 are unvaccinated. I think now they have to make a decision, because people, it looks like we're going to top out, in my view, around 75 or 80% in Italy, probably the United States. There's a hardcore 20% people who don't want to get vaccinated, which, by the way, is their prerogative, in my view. Okay. However, if people see that one group is getting positive and are dying and are hospitalized at a disproportionate rate than the other group, then maybe it'll give them pause to reflect. So I think the way they're reporting the numbers to us needs to be, in just my own opinion. You understand what I'm saying? Because I always ask them, how many people of those were vaccinated?
Well, first of all, Alfred, that is a good point. But in terms of hospitalizations, there have been reports here in Italy, at least, what percentage, and I think the number is about 90 something of those people who are hospitalized or ICU have not received the vaccine. So those figures are being reported for sure. And so you make a good point. I mean, it's,
Res ipsa loquitur.
Exactly.
Yeah, but people don't understand that. I mean, you know who doesn't understand it is the people who don't have computers or read the newspapers. The average citizen in Sicily doesn't understand that. And by the way, I don't think that the average city people in a lot of the inner cities in the United States understand that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Sure,
I think people who are in the Ozark Mountains or in, these tucked away rural places that don't have internet, believe it or not, there are areas in the United States don't have internet. They need to say, hey, look at this many percentage of people who have vaccinations get the COVID. This many who don't get the COVID.
Hey, Alfred,
use your head. That's just my own opinion. And that's not politics either. That's common horse sense.
Alfred, I've been such an advocate and talked about this so many times. Education is really key, and lack of information, lack of education. People can't empower themselves if they don't have access to this information. So I think partially, including in Italy and Sicily, after we had that fiasco over AstraZeneca a few months ago, it's just educating people, reinforcing the fact that it helps, it saves lives. And look at what happened in Sicily. The number of cases are increasing. Of course, that has to do partially with the tourists, partially with the migrants that continue to come in, but partially because of the uneducation. Now, let me just say a couple things. Manny Palazzo, thank you so much for reminding me that if you're enjoying this video on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you hit the like and leave us a comment. Would love to hear it. Now, yellow Fiat.
Francesco, wait a minute. Francesco wants to say hi to you.
Ciao.
Esther, can you see him?
I can see him.
You can see him? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Capel Francesco, vedo, è caldo, eh? 42 gradi in Così di batte.
Sherry says, hi to you guys, reading one of Alfred's books. What did you do with the yellow Fiat, Alfred? That was before my era.
I've had 4 cars right now, and I'm about ready to get the 5th. I've had 3 Fiats.
So what happened to the yellow one, she wants to know?
The other one, I traded it in for the Magic Carpet, the blue one. Now I'm trading in the car we have, and I'm going to get a, what's it called? A Ford, not a Ford, SUV.
SUV, well, what the heck? Where is it? Where the heck is it? You've been talking about this.
He's putting in a new motor for me.
He's been putting in a new motor for 3 weeks, for crying out loud. Thomas Catone says, Alitalia canceled my cousin's flight out of Washington, D.C. today, and they roped her out of JK. So let me tell you guys, thank you, Thomas, for reminding me as well. If you're coming to Sicily and Italy, make sure you call your airlines before you arrive. I just had a conference call yesterday with a group that's coming from North Carolina. They're arriving in September. 2 of them have had their Alitalia flights canceled, rebooked. Alitalia is being bought out, or has been bought out. It's going to be a new company pretty soon, and they're canceling flights. They've canceled Alfred's flight. For instance, Rome to Boston, all flights Rome to Boston have been canceled by Alitalia. But here is the situation with that. They have partnered with Delta, so they're trying to rebook and rearrange some of those flights. But whoever you're coming with, make sure you call and confirm that you have a flight. The other thing,
can we take a little bit of a before you continue? And by the way, you're doing a great job today. You sound like the best and most informative and most well-informed commentator.
I'm not a commentator.
Whatever it is you are, reporter on TV. You should be on like national TV. I don't know.
Honey.
I don't know what you do. I mean, I don't pay you enough money to be with me. You belong on worldwide TV, on Sky TV. You just don't. But anyways, I need to take a commercial break now.
Wait a second,
do me a favor?
Please. You can take a commercial break in a second. Just to
okay.
So Jim just reminded me. Thank you about that. That in Italy, masks are still a requirement, and we talked about this a few shows ago. But I would say, for sure, bring a couple of masks with you. Of course, they have them for sale everywhere, but be prepared to have masks. It's not like here in the United States, right? I came back here a few weeks ago. I'm like, no one's wearing a mask. What the heck is going on? In Sicily and Italy, it's still very much a requirement. Okay, on that note,
leave a tip too.
On that note, Alfred Zappola,
yeah. Okay.
Look what we have.
As you know, while Esther has been having a good time frolicking in New England, hold on.
Right.
I've been working my butt off.
Oh my God.
Developing, for your request, 5 different things for you to order, and today you can start ordering if you want. The one on the left that you see in black, that's a men's long sleeve t-shirts. Many people have asked us about men's long sleeve t-shirts. And that's not a silkscreen design. That's going to be an embroidered design. Some of my women friends and Esther's women friends have asked us about, wait a minute, what happened to the picture?
Hold that. It's going to talk. Finish talking, honey.
Okay. So some of the, and also the women's V-neck t-shirts also have a embroidered. So those are embroidered.
No,
They're
no, no.
not
You told
silkscreen.
me not embroidered. You told me the women's are not embroidered.
No, they are embroidered. What's not
Okay.
embroidered are the men's t-shirts.
Okay.
Those are three color silk screens. Those are awesome. Do you have any more pictures?
Yep. Keep talking.
All right. Okay. To answer your question, the V-necks for the women are $21.99. If you're a double XL, they are $23.99, but that includes the shipping. Okay, shipping is unbelievably expensive. It's going to be first come, first serve on all of these 5 things, and the reason is because we only ordered enough to see if they're going to be people that are be interested in. If you're interested, then I'll get more. Now, you make payment to my PayPal, alfredzappala.com, alfredzappala.com, or alfredmzappala@yahoo.com. Okay. Now, those are the first two. We have others. Esther, can you put up another one for me?
I'm trying to. I'm having a little bit of trouble. So keep going.
Okay. Well, I would like to show the pictures so they can talk. So
Okay, honey.
when you can't get any more up.
Well, keep talking. Like I said.
Okay. So we have a beautiful, now everything else, instead of getting silk screened, we decided to go with embroidery, especially for the hats. I got hats. You've seen the hats. I posted them on both Facebook and I've also posted them on my Facebook page. They're beautiful hats.
Here's this
They
one.
come in two colors. All right. This is something different.
Oh,
Esther, what's going
I know.
on?
I don't know. Technical difficulties. Why don't you keep
Oh,
talking,
God.
honey?
Okay. It's very disconcerting me trying to talk about stuff, but it's not going back and forth like that. Anyways, a
Oh, people
t-shirt.
get it.
Okay.
People get
The
it.
hats come in black and they're awesome. There you go. And that's embroidered. That's embroidered. And the other hat is the same hat, except it's in red or black. But I only got 24 of them to see if people are going to like them. The hats cost $21.99 delivered. That's not bad. Once again, go to PayPal, alfredmzappala@yahoo.com or alfredzappala.com. Make sure you put your address, and you're going to get a hat. Delivery should be the end of September, the beginning of October. This is what we're told. Do you have any more pictures?
No, we don't. Let's move on.
Why?
All of this is going to be available on our YouTube page because I'm going to post on our YouTube and also on our Facebook page. We'll have all of them there and all of the information as well.
What about the polos? Did you have the polos? People ask for polos. Let me talk.
I have all
Let me
of
talk
those.
about the polos.
I have all of those.
If you go to my Facebook page, men's polos. 10,000 people have asked me for men's polos, so we got them embroidered on the left breast. You, me, and Sicily. Those are $26.99, and you have to add on $2 extra if you're double XL, $28.99. So we have t-shirts, hats, long sleeve t-shirts, V-necks for women, and polos. 5 things that I did in response to your request. While Esther was at the pool with her mother, sipping pina coladas all week,
Okay.
I've been busy.
All right, honey. All right. My BS level is now here. I hear rumors that Sicily will go into yellow zone on Monday. Is it so? We planned a road trip from Sweden to Sicily 10 days from now and stay for a couple of weeks, but not sure anymore. So, Lena, even if it does go to yellow, there's discussions because the hospitalizations and also the ICUs are nearing the threshold. That has not been decided yet. And really the biggest change is that you'll have to wear masks outdoors as well as indoors. So that's the news on that. By the way, Alfred, that hat, the t-shirts and all that, I will be posting on our YouTube and on our Facebook. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Frank says, are you coming to New York? Please let me know. Of course, next time I will. Can't at this time. Very,
but notice Frank doesn't say. Frank doesn't say to you, excuse me, Alfred, are you coming to New York? He only says Esther. Frankie boy. I'm only kidding. It's too hot here
Uh,
today, Esther.
Catherine says, does the Everything Sicilian store still exist that you speak about in your book, Reverse Immigrant?
First of all, there was no such store called Everything Sicilian. It was called All Things Sicilian. No, the answer is no. After I think 10 years, we just threw our hands up when the economy tanked in 2008 and we lost our bank line of credit. We decided that was it. So we sold it to somebody who did the internet for a while. Our internet was fantastic, but I think he stopped even using the name. And what happened was it kind of continued on a little bit in my books, which did very well and still do very well. And also now on You, Me, and Sicily, which started off with nothing. And thanks to Esther telling stories, we've had over 1.1 million views on YouTube alone, not to mention streaming on local TV in California, in New York, on Cozy TV, a million places. And we're doing okay with that. The word's getting out about Sicily. That's what I know,
and that's our goal, and that's our goal.
And that's our goal to get out. And also the Sustain Project. People are donating to the Sustain Project.
Yeah, Magdaster says knowing how to use education and knowledge you have is key, and that is so right. And that's one of the things that we like to do about here at You, Me, and Sicily on Facebook and on YouTube is not only to entertain you guys, right, with all the great videos that we post on our YouTube, but pictures that I post on Facebook, but really to keep folks informed to the situation in Sicily. And, Alfred, I was thinking about this. We were talking about this when I was on the show with your brother. Our initial goal was to dispel stereotypes, educate people about the Sicily and its many treasures. And it has grown to be so much more, where other Sicilians are so thankful for the work that we do for showcasing Sicily to the world. So it's been a
that's obviously you have to take a bow, because the day that you came into the life of Sicily is the day that the spotlight began to be shined, so to speak, on Sicily. You've done a wonderful job. You are as Sicilian as anybody else, despite the fact that you're Hungarian. And I'm serious. I'm not kidding. If you weren't that good, Esther, believe me, I would have said so a long time ago. You're awesome. I think the people.
Oh, I love you, honey.
There's like 90% of our viewers are men. Why is that? Because of you. 10% are women. Why is that? Because of me.
That's not how people come here for the knowledge of Sicily. Basta. Hey,
no, they do. You're right.
Sherry, Esther, what is your personal contact address? If you message me on my email, which is addressed to which is tied to my YouTube or Facebook, I will send you that. Frank said, God bless you guys for all the great work that you are both are doing, spotlighting Sicily.
There we
Love
go.
you guys. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Helen says, if you visit Sicily once, you will surely want to return. I love it, and I'm not even Sicilian. I hear you, Helen. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I feel like Sicily is in my blood. And, that's so great, too, that a lot of people have come to Sicily, have visited, and are not Sicilians and have fallen in love with Sicily. But, Alfred, you gave me a great compliment. I appreciate it, but it really is, if it wasn't for you and our chance meeting at your brother's radio show and your books that inspired me to go to Sicily, and it's really your first initial contacts and your knowledge and your continued in-depth knowledge of Sicily, right?
Speaking about in-depth knowledge, Esther, why don't we do this? I have an idea. Okay, seriously. There's a lot of people that, because you've got so many people responding on the thing, why don't you do this? Why don't you ask people now to email you or to post questions that they'd like for us to answer a little bit more in depth. and send them to you
Yeah.
or to you, me, and
Good
Sicily.
idea.
And then on Sunday's program, what we'll do is we'll try. You and I will have a meeting and try to select 6 or 7 of them
Yeah.
and expand the topics so that people can get a little bit more in-depth knowledge on whatever it is that you want us to talk about. So how does that sound like? Is that a good thing to do,
I think that's great.
Esther?
So what they have to do is either Facebook message me, or again, on our YouTube, we have my email there, or on our website, youmeandsicily.com. There is information there. Let me see here. There's our website that has some information on Sicily and
Hey, look at
also
that.
our
That's pretty
tours.
cool.
And
I
we'll
love
take it from
that.
there. So write some questions there for us, and would love to go more in depth. Okay, Sherry, go to that website, www.youmeandsicily.com, and happy to, my email is there. Okay. All right, Alfred. So we also have, okay, and then we're going to put the merchandise of that. Alfred, what are we going to do for Ferragosto?
I got to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah, but what are
That
we
means
going to
2
do?
hours in traffic one way, 2 hours in traffic the other way.
Honey, it'll
And
be
it's going to be
Sunday.
like 100 degrees.
It's going to
What?
be, well, it's going to be Sunday. So people will be at
Yeah,
the
but
beach.
Sunday, let's not forget that where the airport is located is right where the playa is right all the beaches are down there. So I've got to go through there to pick you
Yeah.
up. Then we have to come through there to go back. And by the way, there was a fire yesterday close to the airport. Did you know that? Did they
No, what
report that?
happened? No.
Across the street from the airport was a wildfire. And they kind of did like a big alarm to get the damn thing out. It did not affect aviation.
Yeah.
But that neck of the woods, anything off the sea that has a breeze coming right now is at risk because the breeze fans these flames in this tinderbox.
Yeah.
I mean, since you've left, I have to be honest with you. I haven't even thought about putting on the grill.
Well, no.
I'm afraid that one ember is going to go up or something and it's going to start a big fire. I'm not kidding you. I am forever watching, like the neighbors, what they're doing, making sure that they're all pretty good, but it's like kind of scary. I feel like I'm Smokey the Bear. Do you remember when you were a kid, Smokey the Bear?
Yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires. That's what
Well,
he used to say, Smokey
that's
the Bear.
another, the carelessness is also
And that's
a big
true.
deal. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But there aren't any bears in Sicily. Did you know that there are no bears in Sicily?
So some people are asking, will there be a chat? We will have a chat on Sunday. We will have a chat on Sunday. And our Sunday chats are at 4 p.m. Sicily time. And on Wednesdays, of course, we come to you at
10
6
a.m.
p.m.
Eastern time.
6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. If you
No,
guys
no,
are
no, no,
joining us.
no, 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 no. Eastern time, it's 10 a.m. in the morning.
I'm talking
Eastern.
Sunday is 4 p.m. Sicily time. Wednesdays
And
is
10
6
a.m.
p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
But we have people watching from California and all over the world, Alfred. So
Okay, but that'd be
do.
California time, honey. That'd be California
That's why I like
time.
to give Sicily time, and people can figure out because we have viewers from all over the world, right? Buongiorno, Alfio.
You're right.
Great to see you all. Love your work, chats, and great information. Tanti grazie. Nick says, I have been to Sicily many times to explore and visit with my family. When I return to Sicily, I always feel like it's my second home. Sicily is both comforting and welcoming, for sure.
Sicily is a healing place. For those of you who have grown up in a bilingual household in the United States or have grown up in a Sicilian ancestry culture in the United States, and you can remember the thoughts of your grandmother or your grandfather, the ambient noises in the background of people speaking dialects Sicilian during parties and stuff like that, then Sicily's for you. Sicily is a place that brings me back in time. And if you're a veteran of life, as they say, it will also bring you back in time. It'll heal your soul. It'll soothe your soul. It'll mend your broken spirit. And I could say this not because they're mere words, Esther, because I have seen thousands of people
Yeah.
in over 22 years here come here and leave uh, healthier spiritually, mentally, physically, and stuff. It's just a good place. You belong here. If you have any DNA in your blood at all on Sicily, please come. Just my view. And by the way, the fall is a good time to come, and so is November. November, there's
Yeah.
nobody here in November, and there's
That's a
no snow
great
on the
time.
ground. Ah,
It's a
November is
great time.
awesome.
You know,
Can you hear
the only thing, no,
Wait a
the
minute. Can you
only
hear the
thing,
helicopter
no,
picking
no,
up water?
that's great.
It's going into the sea, picking up water, and it's taking off to go to Archer the Alley.
That's great.
It's
Al,
not that great.
well, no, it's great. There's fighting the fires. How about springtime? Okay, so let me just tell you guys, Peter, springtime is a great time to come to Sicily. Really, every month is a good month to come to Sicily. I would say January out of the whole year is the only month that I would say, it can be a little bit cold, but not cold, cold, cold. There's no snow here. But I would say any month, starting in February, we used to have that Carnivale tour, Alfred. It was so nice during the day. It was a little bit cooler at night. March also, our friends Lori and Miriam, we had a great tour with them a few years ago. 10 days straight of beautiful weather. April is fantastic. You've got the spring fruits coming out. Of course, May is spectacular. You've got Infiorata, the festival in Noto, and a lot of other festivals. June also. Starting July, August
Feast of
can
St.
be
Alfio.
Feast of St. Alfred. Well, there's feasts all over, but also July, August, there's a lot of feasts. I would say August, Ferragosto, stay
Santa
away from
Rosalia, Santa Agata.
Ferragosto, stay away from Sicily around the 15th, few days before, and the week after, because it can get really not just hot, but also filled with tourists. And then starting
Yeah.
September, the fall weathers, October, November, of course, the days get a little bit shorter. So if you want to do all day touring, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But we had a fantastic December tour a few years ago, Alfred, and we packed in a lot into the day and then enjoyed the evenings. Which, by the way, I want to remind people that we have started our tours again in Sicily. I'll be doing a private tour in September and a couple of private tours in October and November, but we will have a Christmas tour, and that is on our website, www.youmeandsicily.com, all the information. And I do have to mention too that we do consulting, right, Alfred? So people want to come to Sicily, want help with their itinerary. I can even book your hotels, your cars, your restaurants, things like that. So we've got a lot happening on You, Me, and Sicily.
I have an announcement to make, fun stuff.
Tell me.
Today, and it's early today. Today is what, the 9th, 10th?
Yep.
Figs are now on sale. Sicilian figs are now on sale. Sicilian white seedless grapes are now on sale. And
So
if you
fall
could
is
smell the
coming.
air and close your eyes, Bunsto, in about 3 weeks, the castañes, the chestnuts,
No,
will
they
be
could.
roasting away.
Well, we'll see.
Middle
We'll
of
see.
September.
Hey, I saw that they're starting to pick the grapes earlier than usual
Yeah.
up in our neck of the woods, right? Because on the west west and south, they start around now, but up by us, all our vineyards said that they're starting to pick the grapes, so it's earlier than usual. So I'm excited about
You know
that.
your friend, that sells you the castañes over here by San
Yeah.
Nicolo, okay.
Hmm.
I stopped and said chit chat for him. He was selling this week peaches. Okay, so he says by this weekend he'll have the figs, but he also had watermelon. So I
Yeah.
said to him, how do you know a good watermelon from a bad watermelon?
You have to knock on
Just
it. Wait, you have
forget
to
about
knock
knocking.
on it.
No, you don't have to knock. You don't knock 3 times. No, you don't knock.
No, I
What you
know.
do
You
is,
have to do
can
the
I?
end has to be brown.
No. Want to take another guess? And they're actually going to get a Cupid doll here. Okay. Here's what he told me. Okay. You know the stripes on the watermelon?
Yeah.
There's stripes on the watermelon. Between the green stripe and the next green stripe, you have to get 2 fingers and measure. If the
Okay.
space is 2 fingers from one green stripe to the next green stripe, it's a sweet watermelon. That's how he does it. He uses
Okay.
his fingers. That's what the old time Sicilians did. I never even heard of that. I heard about knocking and all that stuff. I had never heard about putting your fingers and measuring like that.
That's an interesting. We'll have to test that
That's
one.
an interesting one. And
Thomas
yes,
Catone,
they have seedless. They have seedless watermelons here, but
watermelon.
hardly anybody eats them.
Well, then they
There's
have the
nothing like
small
eating a
ones.
good ice cold watermelon that you have to spit out the seeds and you get all the juice coming down your face. That's
Thomas
so
Catone says
delicious.
Palermo in January was cold and rainy.
Yeah.
When we were there a few years ago, Thomas Catone, that's what I'm saying. It can get rain, but also some years past, November has also been a little bit rainy. So it depends.
Figs so
One
good are
Fred
so good.
McNeil, our friend from Scotland, says one trip to Sicily will get you hooked. My first time was my 40th birthday. I'm now 56. Hey, Fred McNeil, you've been doing a great job on your runs. He's like clocking 11 miles, like 12, 13 miles. It's doing pretty good.
We have to
Uh,
talk about food sometime. We should do a whole program on just
on a,
food.
well, we have
Our favorite food.
Alfred, we have
No, I'm talking
several
about our
on
favorite
YouTube.
food.
We should do a new
Good.
a chat. My dad is looking for a white fig tree. Anyone know where to get that? Leave us a comment if you can answer that. Let's see. Hi from Malta. Our
I've
weather
never
is
seen white figs. I've never seen white figs. I've seen purple figs and black figs, but not white figs.
exactly. Hi from Malta. Our
Malta.
weather is just as hot as in Sicily. However,
Yeah.
we don't have forest fires, thank God, because we don't have too many trees. Thanks for your lovely channel. Thank you, Ocean Sunset.
Thank
And for
you.
those of you
Thank
guys
you
who
very
are
much.
new here, I hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the
And
like
what about
as
becoming
well.
a member in our private group, Esther?
Hold
How does
on.
that work?
Make sure you hit like and share this video with a friend. And also we have our members only group that for $1.99 a month, $1.99 a month, you help support this channel. And I also put some extra content on that. That's on our YouTube, You, Me, and Sicily. Marie, knock on the melon and see if it opens.
And if it
Look at
opens?
that. Tom Zappola is here. What
Oh my
great,
God.
the
Oh
great,
my God.
the
My
great
brother,
Tom
Tom the
Zappola.
legend.
What
The
a
legend
fun
in his own mind.
time I had on his show with Mike Lamazzo and Tom Zappola. I keep telling you, I'm telling you, you got to start recording the Sicilian Corner lead-ups and commercials because they're just as entertaining as the shows themselves. Tom and Mike Lamazzo do a great job. They're great.
Tom,
And
my brother Tommy
Tom
is, if
Zappola,
my mother and father were alive, they would be very proud of my brother Tommy. My brother Tommy hates when I talk like that, but he's an
and he's got
accomplished, him
that.
and Ellen, they're accomplished authors. They've won the Ben Franklin Award. They write sports books, sports memorabilia books.
What's
My brother
the name of
has done,
his other radio show, Al? He
his
said it
program is called the Sicilian
no,
Corner.
the other
The
one.
Sicilian Corner.
The other one. He said it
It's
15
called
times.
Professional Authenticated. PSA, it's called, where they talk about collectibles, especially baseball memorabilia, baseball cards and stuff. My brother is one of like the top gurus in that industry. But you know what my brother's biggest accomplishment in life and what I idolize him for and respect him for the most? That man is the best father and the best grandfather that I have ever met in my life. That guy sacrificed his life for his kids and his grandkids. And it's something that I've always admired about him. Really. I mean, in life, family happens to be number one with everything. But my brother Tommy takes it to another level. So, Tommy, thanks for tuning in today. Why don't you
Hey,
leave a donation,
wait
you
a
cheap
sec,
bastard?
Tom, Tom Zappola. You always
Tom,
said the
throw a
great
hundred in. Come on,
American.
just throw
Wait,
it
Al,
in.
let me
You're
finish.
loaded.
Al,
$100.
Tom
Go ahead.
Zappola, you
Oh, the
said it a
great guy.
million times on the show, the Great American Collectible Show. There you go, the Great American Collectible Show with Tom Zappola and his buddy. Tune in. Tom, why don't you leave us a link? I'll share it.
Give us a Tom. Give us.
That's so
I'll tell you what.
nice.
Why don't you become a sponsor of the program, Tom? Come on, we'll give you a push. We'll give you a run for your money. You
He
got
said
it. You're
check is
loaded.
in the
Come
mail.
on.
Hey, listen, Tom Zappola, next time, wait a sec. Tom Cornelio says, tell us a funny show about Alfred Zappola from his youth. Oh, that's going to
Oh
be a
my
good
God.
one.
My
Oh
brother
my
knows where all
God.
the bones are buried. My brother Tommy knows where every bone is buried because even though I'm 71, he's 69. We're way up there in age. We've been best friends and brothers our whole life. I'm serious, okay?
I
We
know
have
you
done
guys
more
talk every
stuff
day.
together. We talk every day. I love that guy to pieces. And my sister
He's a
Anna.
great guy.
But my brother Tommy, the reason I like him the most is because, well, my mother asked me to,
Well, I don't know. Look
Tommy
at
doesn't
that.
have
He
very
said,
many
bite me.
friends. What?
He said, bite me.
Tom, you're a great guy. I love you. And one of the reasons I was pissed about not going home was not seeing my brother. You
I
know
know.
why, Esther? Because it's
Why?
his turn to buy me breakfast. We take turns, right? And
Oh,
for 2 years in
boy.
a row, I've paid, he hasn't. And anyways, Tom, I don't
Listen.
forget. I'll be home in November, though.
Listen, what's Mama cooking for us? Says, hello, Tom. I saw your interview with Esther on the Sicilian Corner. It's a great show to watch every single Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Sicilian Corner on Facebook. In a
Okay,
high
Bunster, we
school
have to wrap
wait
it
a
up
sec.
now. It's
In a high school
all right.
football game, Al broke his leg in the ground. My friends, thank you for watching another episode of You, Me, and Sicily. Don't comment. Make sure you
I'm
hit the like
speechless,
button.
Tommy. I'm speechless.
Hit the like button.
I love you,
Subscribe
brother.
to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on another video of You, Me, and Sicily. Arrivederci. Arrivederci.
Thank you, Bunster.